A suspect is in custody after a deadly shooting at an apartment complex in Forsyth. According to Monroe County Coroner Mark Goolsby, the shooting happened around 9 in the evening on Monday at the Forsyth Garden Apartments. Authorities were sent to the apartments after a 911 call reported shots were fired in the area. Goolsby said a man was found dead at the scene, and the Georgia Bureau of Investigation is leading the investigation. WGXA has reached out to the GBI and Forsyth Police Department for more information on this deadly shooting, and we'll provide you updates as soon as they become available.
64-year-old Hiram Hurd remains in the Houston County Jail 1 week after a domestic violence incident that led to a standoff with deputies near Smithfield Church Road. According to the Houston County Sheriff's Office, the suspect is charged with aggravated battery, aggravated stalking, false imprisonment, and sexual battery. He is currently being held without bond. Sheriff Matt Moulton says this is not the suspect's first encounter with law enforcement and that his criminal history primarily involves the same victim.
Mainly with her is family violence related. There was conditional bond where they had a domestic altercation that he was charged with previously, and he was in violation of that conditional bond and went back to the house, and he held her against her will inside the house.
Moulton says the victim was able to call 911 telling dispatchers she was being held against her will and needed help. Deputies responded, and Moulton says they found the suspect refusing to cooperate. They later located the victim and breached a window to safely get her out of the home. While WGXA was on scene, witnesses described the tense moments.
She was very nervous. She was shaking. She wasn't in. Terrified.
Just glad it didn't get to a point where anybody was hurt because it could have ended really badly. I'm just glad they got him out safe without injuring anybody, any bystander.
Sheriff Moulton says the suspect was already out on a conditional bond at the time of the incident.
When he got out of the jail, he went and deliberately violated that conditional bond and went directly back to the house that they shared together.
A woman and a dog are dead after a house fire in Macon. According to Bibb County Coroner Leon Jones, 73-year-old Dolores Brown was in a home on Price Drive in Macon's Bloomfield area that caught on fire right before 1 a.m. Jones says Brown and the dog did not survive that fire. We have reached out to the Bibb County Fire Department for more information, and we will let you know as soon as we learn more.
On Monday night, Forsyth's City Council granted H&H Timberlands a conditional use permit for a data center. The Forsyth Technology Campus is slated for development on 1,600 acres west of Exit 193 on Interstate 75. It would become one of the largest data center facilities in the state and the country. Neighbors like Michael Griffin live on Smith Road near the proposed site. He said he had a number of concerns about logistics.
Every one of these were claims, every last one of them. Their suggestions, their maybes, their we hope so's. There just needs to be more research on this.
The city's Planning and Zoning Board previously questioned landowner Ty Hanna and developer Trammell Crow over electricity and water supply issues. Both say they're hoping to keep the project as local as possible with power generation.
Indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
After 6 weeks of deliberation, City Council voted in favor, 5-1. Councilman Josh Hill says this doesn't mean construction is starting right away.
And it certainly doesn't mean that all information gathered is what needs to be known at this point to move this project forward.
Hill also proposed a number of safeguards in his motion, including the possibility of revoking conditional use if plans don't move forward. Despite a loud public outcry, folks like George McCandless are welcoming the project with open arms.
The homeowners have been carrying more and more of that burden. This project presents a rare opportunity to change that equation.
Council members said it's a small step, one of many that's yet to come. But without extra time and research, some citizens still feel it's a step in the wrong direction.
This morning, the federal government remains partially shut down as lawmakers scramble to compromise on a funding deal. The major sticking point, new restrictions on ICE. Republicans and Democrats remain at a standstill over funding for immigration enforcement, following the fatal shootings of Alex Preddy and Renee Good by federal law enforcement in Minneapolis. And it comes just months after the longest shutdown in U.S. history.
I don't think we need to be playing games with government funding. We still have winter storms. We got FEMA and TSA and troop pay and everything else wrapped into this.
ICE needs to be reined in. The American people know that Donald Trump lied to them. He said, we're going to target violent felons. Instead, they're targeting 5-year-old boys with Spider-Man backpacks. They're horrifying the American people.
As negotiations continue, thousands of Federal Aviation Administration workers have been furloughed, and nearly 14,000 air traffic controllers will work without pay as the partial government shutdown drags on. The Department of Health and Human Services also listing on its website, quote, due to the government shutdown, information on this website may not be up to date. And with tax season underway, the IRS says it can only carry out operations through this Saturday. President Trump saying he's confident they can reach an agreement.
I think they're pretty close to a resolution. You know, we were at 5.6% GDP, and we lost 1.5 points because of the 42-day shutdown.
Last week, the president cut a deal with Senate Democrats to pass a 2-week extension of funding for the Department of Homeland Security to buy time to negotiate. But Democrats in the House are not totally on board. And House Speaker Mike Johnson has said he's confident the House can approve the Senate-passed spending bill sometime today. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
Well, happy Tuesday, everybody. Starting out very chilly across middle Georgia. Again, this morning we saw mid-20s to the lower 30s, and today we're going to see a mix of clouds and sun. It'll be staying dry today, though, and it will be rather mild this afternoon, going to the low 60s. And then as we get into our nighttime hours, we'll see some clouds begin to thicken up, and we'll also see rain developing overnight tonight. And that will linger into tomorrow morning especially, and that's ahead of a cold front that will be moving into middle Georgia. So we'll wake up tomorrow morning to upper 40s with rain around the area, and I think rain will be with us off and on pretty much all the morning tomorrow. By afternoon, most of the rain moving out of here. We'll be left with mostly cloudy skies, and we'll stay in the 50s tomorrow, so a little cooler tomorrow due to the clouds and the rain. And then as we get into Thursday morning, we'll start out mostly cloudy. On the chilly side, we'll see low to mid 30s, and during the afternoon on Thursday, we'll see the sunshine returning, and it'll be a bit cooler on Thursday as well, with highs only in the mid to upper 40s. But don't worry about that. We're going to see the 60s return Friday through the weekend, so just tomorrow and Thursday a little cooler, and then we're going to see temperatures rebounding nicely. So rainfall total potential over tonight and tomorrow. We're talking maybe a quarter to a half inch for some of us, and we do need the rain. As we have said, we are still in a drought situation here in middle Georgia. As you can see, all of us are at some level of drought. This light tan shaded area here is a moderate drought. The darker shade in here is a severe drought. So definitely need some rain here in middle Georgia. We will get a little bit tonight and tomorrow, but still not a whole lot. So don't know it's going to make much difference in our drought as we do continue to be dry here in middle Georgia. But one thing I do know, temperatures are going to be on the rise. So if you're tired of the cold air, we're going to be looking at the next 6 to 10 days. Temperatures beginning to warm on up. We'll be running a little bit above average over the next 6 to 10 days. So forecast for today, we're going to be going to the low to mid 60s. As I said, rather mild out there today, and getting back up closer to average. The average high this time of year is 61. We'll stay dry with those mix of clouds and sun, and then tonight we'll see the rain moving in, dropping down to the upper 40s for tomorrow morning. And here's our 10-day forecast showing tomorrow the rain around, especially in the morning, and then we'll keep the clouds the rest of the day, highs staying in the 50s. And then there's the cooler air coming in Thursday behind that frontal system. And then look at Friday through the weekend. We're back up into the low to mid 60s. Overnight lows will still be a bit chilly. We're talking about the 30s. And then as we get into Monday and next week, look at that. We could actually hit 70 degrees with our overnight lows dropping down into the 40s.
United.
Urban Meyer built college football dynasties.
Football is a way of life.
Mark Ingram II ran his way to a Heisman.
I'm gonna do the rest of the show with this thing.
Rob Stone calls it like he sees it. This is the Triple Option, where legends tackle the biggest headlines in college football and the NFL with guests who don't hold back.
You're not winning with that owner.
Wow. It's football talk that hits harder than game day. The Triple Option, presented by Wendy's, wherever you get your podcasts.